So let us begin. Let's stand with the feet shoulder width apart, knees gently bent, back is nice and straight. Have this sort of sitting down feeling. Tailbone just gently dropping down as the knees bend. Still have a nice long straight spine though. Okay, so this warm-up exercise comes from the core, deep inside. So just bring your breath and your mind to the core first of all. Have a very simple one breath exercise where you just breathe gently in through your nose and you imagine all the chi flowing right up into the center of your brain, illuminating your brain. And then when you breathe out, you imagine all the chi flows down, 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 deep into the pit of your belly. And just kind of settles there, brings you to this core. You can do it a second time if you wish. Illuminating the brain, exhaling, letting the chi sink down into the belly. Maybe one last time. So the reason for finding this core is that this is where we're going to turn from. So let's gently turn our waist to the side and stretch the back out and see how it feels. Look back over the shoulder. Do the other side as well. Gently turn, look back, stretch. So we're just kind of checking into the back to see how it feels, checking to see if there's anything going on there, anything we should be aware of. You can always work around any discomfort in your body. Okay, so let's turn then. So let the whole body gently release. So as we make this little turn, we try and make sure that our hips are turning from side to side. Our belly is turning from side to side. Our shoulders, obviously. Rather than, you can do this exercise standing completely forward and just moving your hands, but we're really trying to get this motion into the body. Keep the elbows relaxed, and that allows the arms to swing around the body, and then the palms are open, and so the hands gently tap on the sides. We're stimulating the flow of chi around our bodies. The energy can be a little bit lazy in the morning, and so this gentle exercise allows it to open, flow, get going, as it were. Just keeping the knees gently unlocked means that the chi flows so much more easily through them. There's a tendency, obviously, to stand with straight legs, knees locked back, because the bones support you. However, when we unlock the knees, we're forcing the muscles to gently support us. And so this is why over many years, Qigong practitioners, as they get older, become more stable, less wobbly, less likely to fall over, because you're doing so much more practice with your knees gently bent and the calves and thighs are built up. So rather than using the easy way out of locking the knees, now we unlock the knees and the muscles compensate for that and the muscles gently get stronger. So it's a slow burn Qigong. It's about practicing for a long time, and slowly but surely you find yourself becoming stronger and more stable. So if you find yourself feeling dizzy at any stage, the remedy for that is concentrating on your toes, thinking about your toes where they touch the ground, putting your mind in between that space where the toes touch the ground, really feeling how the big toe connects with the floor, the index toe, the ring toe, the little toe, all the way down. We feel at the tip of each toe. We just put our mind into the ball of our foot. In so doing, we induce chi in the body to move downwards as opposed to upwards in your head and make you feel dizzy. Now we're concentrating on our feet. We're experiencing our feet. The chi flows down. So let's just change this exercise a little bit. Let's go into the second phase. We slow down slightly and we extend, moving back, looking back over the shoulder. We can go a little bit slower, but we make the turn longer, looking back over the shoulder. Just a few more nice long turns. Okay, and then just let the whole thing slow, 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 and eventually it comes to a gentle stop. Now then again, this counteracts dizziness, this next exercise, so lift the hands up. Imagine holding a ball of chi above your head and moving it down through your body. So if we felt dizzy, it was because chi was in our heads. Now, this is drawing chi down from the head, into the chest, all the way down to the belly, the chi home. And then just relaxing the hands and letting the chi flow down our legs as well. So let's gather and lift up. Pour chi down. Move it from the head. Draw it deep into the chest. Move it from the chest deep into the belly where we store our chi. And relax the hands and continue the circuit, as it were. The gathering again, lift chi up. And pour chi down. Draw the chi down. Draw the chi deep into your belly. And then just let the hands relax down and chi continues back, as if your body was this beautiful circuit. Okay, so we're just going to do some simple forward and back bends. Lifting up again, so hands in the earth, gently lift up, stretch up into the blue sky. And then we're going to coordinate the arms and ears. So the arms and ears, they're not pressed together, but they coordinate. They gently go over at the same speed. And then we move into the upper back, move into the middle back, and we move into the lower back. And we let the body gently hang down wherever it naturally goes to. No need to go all the way down. You just go as far as feels comfortable for you. We imagine the foot split into 4 pieces. So first of all, we gently stretch down towards our toes. And then release. Imagine a line between the roots of our toes. So we gently stretch down towards that line. And release. We imagine a line drawn between our insteps. Gently stretch down towards that line. And release. We imagine a line drawn between our heels. Gently stretch to that line. And release. Let the body hang and relax here. Okay, so to bring ourselves upright,
we move our tailbone first. Lift the tailbone up behind you. Swing the tailbone towards the front of the body, and then slowly bring the spine up and lift up the arms and ears at the same pace, drawing up slowly, stretching up slowly, up into the blue sky. Let the knees and the hips drift forward, and you can gently lean backwards. Up, and gently lean backwards. Up, and gently back. Up, and gently back. We can do some side bends to complement this as well. Down on the left-hand side, open the right side of the body up. Down on the right-hand side, opening up on the left. You can sort of knock your left hip out to the side. Down on the left side, pushing the right hip out. And out to the right, allowing the left to open. Very good. And then stretch up into the blue sky. So we run through the whole process again. Go through another 3 times. So not pressing the arms against the ears, just coordinating arms and ears. They go over till the arms are about parallel with the floor. And then we let the upper back, middle back, lower back work their way down. And we relax down to a gentle hanging posture. So as you can see with this bend, it gets just slightly deeper each time. First time we stretch towards the toes. And then release. In line with the roots of our toes. Release. Working toward the insteps. And release. Working toward the heels. Relax and release. This mechanism for getting upright, push the tailbone up behind you to point into the blue sky. Push the tailbone towards the front of the body and start assembling the spine. And then bring up the arms and ears as one piece if you can. Just adds an extra sort of stretch dynamic to the neck. Up. And then we do the back bends, gently forward with the hips, lean back. Up. And gently back. Up. And gently back. Up. And gently back. Stretch up into the blue sky. Left hand curls down. Right hip pops out. Right hand goes down. Out on the left. Down on the left side. And down on the right side. Hands up into the blue sky. So we're going to run through the process again, but this time try and keep the legs straight if you can. So if we straighten the legs, that just gives us a hamstring stretch. So we do the arms and ears coordinated, and then the upper back, middle back, lower back, and the legs try and stay as straight as they can. This time we just get an extra hamstring stretch. Okay, so first little extension takes us down towards our toes. And then release in line with the roots of our toes. Release toward our insteps. And release back toward our heels. Good. The whole body is relaxed and hangs. Gently lift the tailbone up behind. Push the tailbone to the front. Roll the spine up and bring up the head and the arms, the ears as one piece. Stretching up. Knees and hips drift forward. You can lean back. Up. And back. Up. And back. Up. And back. Hands into the blue sky. Left side curling down, right side opening. Right side curling down, left side opening. Down on the left and down on the right. Good, hands up into the blue sky. So we have one last rotation through this whole set of exercises again. Legs straight if possible. Arms and ears tipping over. Upper back, middle back, lower back, and relax down. Body just hangs and relaxes. Legs as straight as possible. You put the weight a tiny little bit in the toes and just feel the stretch up the back of the legs. Okay, so first extension, moves gently down toward the toes and release. In line with the roots of our toes and release. Toward our insteps and release. Toward our heels and release. Body hangs and relaxes. Tailbone gently lifts up behind. Tailbone pushes toward the front. Spine starts to roll up. Head, arms, and ears gently roll up. Stretch up into the blue sky. Nice stretch. Knees and hips drift forward. You can gently lean back. Up and back. Up and back. Up and back. Hands in the blue sky. Left hand curls down. Right side of the body opens up. Right hand curls down. Left side of the body open. Down on the left. And down on the right. Stretch up into the blue sky. So the hands drift gently down. As the hands drift down, the chi obligingly moves down in your body as well, settling and relaxing and calming. And we can just underscore that by doing that a few more times, gently lifting up chi, gathering up into the blue sky. Gently pouring down chi, move this chi down through the body, deep into the belly. Relaxing the hands, let the chi flow. Gather and lift chi. Gently pour down, draw down, move chi deep inside. Last time. We can gather one more time and bring our hands to the belly. Lift up. And pour down. Draw the chi deep inside. Let the hands settle on the belly. Chi starts to gather deep inside the belly. Lower dantian chi is abundant. Deep inside the belly here, chi is abundant, gathering. When we gather the chi here in the center of the body, this is how we bring about our healing. Filling lower dantian.
So this is the perfect posture we're in for gathering chi. You have your knees just slightly bent. As mentioned before, that lets the chi flow much better through your body. We have our spine nice and straight. By pushing the head up into the blue sky, we're kind of connecting upwards. On the top of the head is a point called Bai Hui. You imagine it opens up, gathering chi. I always joke that it's like your personal satellite dish on top of your head, gathering all this chi from the blue sky deep inside your body. Same on the soles of the feet. Soles of your feet, 2 acupuncture points, 1 on each foot, just about the ball of the foot, gathering chi up into your body. So from now onwards, you can do these exercises sitting if you wish. You can do them lying down if you need to. But the standing posture is definitely the best sort of prescribed way for gathering energy into the body. And the simple theory behind it is that if your body is full of chi, then that is how you bring about healing. So Zheneng Qigong, the style that we teach, was created by Dr. Pang Ming. So Dr. Pang says, Wu Wu Bu Hua. Wu Wu Bu Hua. There is nothing you cannot change. Wu Wu Bu Shen. There is nothing that you are unable to make happen. Wu Wu Bu Sui. There is nothing that you cannot break down. Think about that. There is nothing you cannot change. So what needs changing in your life? Sometimes things seem insurmountable, the problems. But we have a terrible tendency to put barriers up for ourselves. At the basic level, we live in fear. From our caveman days, you can't even, I mean, it was hard to imagine how amazing fire must have, or controlling fire must have seemed to our predecessors, our ancestors. We've always had a worry that something might come out of the dark, be it a bear or a dinosaur or whatever. Worry that it might be a spirit, a phantasma of some sort. And then to be able to control fire, suddenly we have light in the darkness. So the ability to control light has taken a huge amount of fear from our lives. Just imagine if everything was in the dark all the time. So at the most basic level, we have this fear, and it's a fear for our lives. If we believe that when we die, there's nothing else, then that's pretty terrifying. It's like walking off a cliff in the dark, I suppose. You know, there's a cliff there, but you don't know which step is going to take you plunging way off into the void. If you see it as that, and of course, it does seem a bit terrifying. I love Alan Watts, who says, do you remember the moment before you woke up this morning? And of course, the answer has to be no, because you're asleep. and we're sort of not even aware of it. And then there's just this beautiful moment. You're just suddenly aware. Think, oh, here it is, dawn, or here you are, just starting to wake. Hopefully cozy, tucked up in bed, that lovely feeling just as you wake up and you think, there's the day. Alan Watts suggests that when we're born, when we come to this life, it's nothing more traumatic than that. When we leave this life, it's nothing more traumatic than going to sleep. And so if we're constantly in fear of leaving this life, it's because our egos are so strong and so attached. I think this is why the Buddhists talk so much about non-attachment, because if you're not attached to things, then it doesn't really matter. If you're desperately attached to every member of your family, if you're desperately attached to your car or your house, if you're desperately attached to, I don't know, interior furnishings, whatever it might be, it must be difficult. But if you allow those things to soften and relax away, nothing seems so important after all. And if nothing is really important, then it makes life so much easier, lowers our fear levels. So we go back to Dr. Pang's idea. Wu bu hua. There is nothing that you cannot transform, I think he would use. Nothing that you cannot change. But hua is transform. So nothing that you cannot transform in this life. And how many barriers have you put up to stop yourself transforming? Well, you need to transform those barriers too. And those barriers are just natural barriers put there by fear, but you need to transform the fear too. So when you find yourself thinking, well, I can't do that, look at it and ask yourself, why can't you do it? Other people can. Why can't you? There's nothing you cannot change. Wu wu bu shen. There's nothing that you're unable to make happen. Just a shade of the same idea. But that's it. If you can break your way through the fear barrier, then there's nothing you cannot make happen. Every mountain has been climbed now. The 4-minute mile broken by Roger Bannister. Up until Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, nobody believed it was possible. Humans cannot run that fast. And then he did. And then what we'd often hear is that after he broke the 4-minute mile, about a dozen other people beat him in the next coming few months. But it took him to step through that barrier. And then suddenly everybody could do it. And so we have this monkey see, monkey do kind of idea. Someone else does it, then you think, oh, it's not that hard after all. Perhaps I can. We tend to hold our heroes very highly, this person who's done something extraordinary. But they did it. So can you. They're just normal people. They've just applied themselves to something and broken through. So I met a wonderful woman in China. She was a school teacher. And she'd got progressively less well. I'm sure the stress of teaching had brought her really low. And then she discovered that she had breast cancer. Then she discovered that she had cancer in the uterus. And basically the doctors had said to her, well, I'm sorry, we can do some operations, but unfortunately you're really what they would refer to as riddled with cancer. But so she thought, well, I know about Qigong. I'm going to go and practice. And she just thought to herself, well, that's it. I'm going to just walk away now. They've given me a sentence, which basically means I'm not going to live very long. And that was about 4 or 5 years after I'd met her. She was such a lovely lady. She said, oh, yes, no, I came to the center. She went to the center in Xi'an. And she basically had said, well, my situation's hopeless, but I'd like to come here and practice with you anyway. And they'd said to her, well, your situation isn't hopeless, by the way. As Dr. Pang says, wu wu bu shen, there's nothing that you cannot make happen. Wu wu bu hua, there's nothing you cannot change. Wu wu bu sui, there's nothing you cannot break down. And break down all of the cancer she did. And so when I met her, she'd cured herself of, I think there was 3 different types of cancer that she'd cured herself of. Breast cancer, uterine cancer, something else as well, I can't remember, maybe in her digestive system. She was a very healthy teacher, very healthy young lady who had decided to stay on after having cured herself just using Dr. Pang's theories. Just listen to Dr. Pang's words. There's nothing you can't change. There's nothing you are unable to make happen. There's nothing that you cannot break down. And break down it did. Her cancers just disappeared. She took time to herself. She stepped out of her life. She moved away from her stressors, no doubt teaching being one of them. She settled into a life of Qigong. She was determined. When she saw the people around her who had healed themselves, she thought, oh, I can do this too. And so she did. And then she'd been a teacher at Xi'an for about, I think, 4 or 5 years, if I remember rightly. What a brilliant lady. So just put yourself in her place. Just remember, she wasn't extraordinary. She's not a superhero. She was just a young person from China. It's not just being Chinese that makes this happen either. Anybody can do it. I've met people from Europe who've changed themselves, people from America who have healed themselves, South America. That's not Chinese specific either. It doesn't take a certain type of mind. It just takes anybody with the desire to make things change. So one of the key requisites, what are the key requisites for healing? Well, Dr. Pang has encapsulated them in his 8 phrases. So 8 phrases is a standard Chinese, in a standard Chinese poemic form, and that is 8 lines with 4 characters per line. But obviously in Chinese, each character's got a pack, it's packed full of ideas and packed full of concepts. And when they sit next to each other, they build these concepts even deeper. So we have this 8 phrases. I can sing it for you. 顶天立地，轻松一场，爱见的见，深秋茂公。一念不起，深究爱空，权宜交替，就身融融。 Ocean wrong. Ocean wrong. So the 8 phrases in that are Dr. Pang's core principles and ideas. First of all, he speaks about our connection to the universe, through our feet into the earth, from our heads into the blue sky, but just the whole body connected in the chi field. In the West, we don't really understand about chi. We don't have any kind of ideas of chi. In China, the word qi turns up everywhere. Qi che gong gong, I think, means bus. If you speak Chinese, please forgive my pronunciation. We find qi in the word for steam, for petrol, for buses, for cars, for rice, for also, well, no, not for rice, sorry, getting carried away, but you get the idea. It turns up all over. And generally, it suggests movement of energy, not stagnation. So first of all, we have this idea of qi moving into the body from the earth, qi moving into the body from the heavens, qi moving into the body from all around, absorbing this qi. But also the opposite direction, allowing qi you don't need in your body to go, letting it out. So you have this constant interplay between ourselves and the outside world. In Dr. Pang's poem, there's also this idea, soften and relax. Let the body relax. You can't do anything if you're feeling tense. Calm the mind. You can't do anything if your mind is rushing around like crazy. You settle and calm the mind and relax the body. He points out there's no difference between outside and inside. He says, let it be quiet inside your body, quiet outside. Don't let your thoughts carry you away. Stay focused. Clear your mind. Often there's this beautiful image. It's like a pool of water, crystal clear and clean, on the side of a mountain, reflecting the blue sky. Clear, fresh water. So when we bring ourselves into this state where our body is open and relaxed, our mind is quiet, then we're able to work with our body. So bring some attention to your body. Scan through your body. See if there's something in your body that needs working with today. Perhaps it's a sore back, sore knees, sore hips. When you stand doing your qigong, sometimes your feet get sore. It's all right to give them a little move around if you wish. But basically try and clear blockages in your body just by imagining the qi moving easily through something that feels blocked and sore. Perhaps it's deeper than that. Perhaps you're working with some internal organ systems. Perhaps you're working with a cancer challenge or diabetes or heart disease, whatever it might be. But now what we're doing is letting all of those problems gently dissolve. We can use our mind to send a wave of qi deep inside. So just as we did earlier on, bringing balance to our bodies by putting our mind in our toes, that's like shining a light from your mind deep into your toes. So now we're doing the same thing with our mind wherever we need healing in the body. So if, for instance, your spine is uncomfortable, you could just imagine your mind sending a ray of light all the way down the length of the spine to your tailbone. Perhaps you need to send chi into your hips, into your knees. Perhaps you need to fill your ankles with chi. Perhaps it's your elbows, your arms, your shoulders, your neck. Wherever it is in the body, send chi deep inside. Perhaps it's the organs. Perhaps it's your liver. Perhaps it's your breast. Perhaps it's your kidneys. Whatever's required, beam light deep inside it. Fill it with chi. And then after you've sent this healing chi to the part of the body, just take your mind away and leave your mind gently neutral. So there's a little dichotomy here. If we spend so much time thinking about our problem, we're actually going to give it energy. So what we're doing is sending a quick blast of healing, if you like, deep into wherever it's needed, and then letting the mind come back to neutral. Your body knows much better than you do. So we just gently highlight what needs highlighting just once, and then move the mind away and just let the body get on with its own healing process. This can seem like a very solitary affair, but then Dr. Pang tells us about chi field theory. He says that everything is connected. We have these ideas from quantum science that a little quantum bit can be connected across the other side of the globe with another one. They say it's weird because it can be in two places at one time. That's exactly the idea. We can be connected. You and I connected. There's this strange idea of no time, no space. So it doesn't particularly matter when you're doing this exercise. If you're doing it live with me now, if you're doing it in a week's time, a month's time, a year's time, you can still be connected in the chi field. I can still support you, but you support me too. We're all connected in this chi field. Whenever you bring your mind to this idea that we're connected as a group, as a family, supporting each other, then that is so. Millions upon millions of people who support each other all round the globe doing Zheneng Qigong, part of this vast family. Feel that connection. You deeply connected with me deeply connected with you, us healing together, us changing all the things that need changing. Wu Wu Bu Hua, there's nothing you cannot change. Wu Wu Bu Shen, there is nothing you are not able to make happen. Wu Wu Bu Cui, there is nothing you cannot break down. Now, in this moment, anything can be broken down. Anything can be rebuilt. Whole body relaxed, open and healing. Feel the center of your head. Just listen inside. All the thoughts have subsided. Head is very quiet. Think about your heart. Soften and relax your heart. So in Chinese, there's this, in Chinese medicine, there's this intimate connection between heart and head. It's as if they were the same organ. Quieten the head, and the heart follows suit. Allow the other organs to follow. Heart is empty.
Lungs are empty. Spleen, pancreas empty. Liver empty. Kidneys empty. So when we say empty, what are we talking about? Empty of blocked chi. That would be good. Blood and chi flowing well through the organs. Empty of emotion. For instance, our kidneys. That's where fear is stored. When we empty our kidneys, all fear disappears. The liver is where anger is stored. Allow all anger to gently disappear. Sadness and sorrow are province of the lungs. All sadness gently disappearing. Anxiety and worry of the spleen gently disappears. Heart, envy, hatred gently disappearing. Or conflict of the heart gently disappears. All of these difficult emotions are released. It's always important to realize that our emotions have made us who we are and brought us to where we are. We don't need to stay with us forever. So we allow the emotions to disappear, to relax, to release, and all the organs to be completely empty. Just chi and blood flowing perfectly through them. All emotions, all inner tensions gently disappear. What about your breath? Gently feel your breath. You can use your breath to send chi into parts of the body. So as we're doing with the mind, you can breathe out into your arms or breathe out into your legs. And as we do so, we can just let the body gently dissolve into the chi field. So with the breath, imagine your whole head and shoulders gently relax and disappear. The next breath out can be into your arms and into your chest. Gently breathing out and feeling the whole of the upper body relaxing, disappearing. The next breath out could be into your torso. As you breathe out, you can imagine the whole of your body gently disappearing, spine down to the tailbone, all of the internal organs, just dissolving into chi. The next breath, we can allow the chi to flow down our legs to our feet, dissolving as we go, breathing out. Whole body dissolves into chi. Just feel how the inner and the outer world merge and relax. Feel yourself at one with the outer world. In your body, in total harmony. This is a very natural state, at one with nature. Now perhaps we can move ourselves to a more universal higher state, your whole body is chi. Your whole body is empty. Allow your body to expand into the nature around you. Allow your body to continue to expand out into the universe. Imagine our solar system, the sun and the moon, stars. Imagine the Milky Way. Imagine the vastness of the universe beyond, and the universes beyond that. Allow the whole body to dissolve, expand into the universe. This is not just your imagination. This really is you. You can feel the universe. Feel your family. Feel your family in the chi field. Connect with all of your family. Unconditional love. No matter where the problems lie, we still connect. Unconditional love. Let's take the circle wider. Think about all the people who do Qigong across the globe. Allow yourself to connect with all of them. Energetic. These are Dr. Pang's ideas. The more you listen to Hunyuan theory, the more you connect with these ideas, the more you practice this kind of idea, the more your body accepts this new framework. And the more your body automatically accepts the new information to heal. So it's all about practice, repeatedly coming back to this space where you are at one with the entire universe, and understanding that there is nothing that you cannot change. There is nothing that you are unable to make happen. There's nothing that you cannot break down. When you feel the vastness of the universe supporting you in this endeavor, you know that must be true. There's nothing you cannot change, nothing you cannot break down, nothing you cannot bring about. Keep this lovely empty mind state. Allow your problems to be shown as the illusions they really are. All of these barriers we've put up, all of these things we've created for ourselves, are no more than mirages to be walked through and see them dissolve. We've added so many layers of complication to our lives. And now we see through them. We see them for what they are. We banish these old stories. And as the inside of the body relaxes, as the inside of the mind comes quiet, you realize that these problems were never true. That these were just imaginary hurdles we created for ourselves. And now we dissolve them and let them go. They serve their purpose. We thank them. Just let them dissolve back into chi. They were never real. And now we see them for what they are. Just illusion. This is real change at a deep subconscious level. Real change at a deep subconscious level. So from this vast universality, we have to bring ourselves back to what we call daily life. And so from the four corners of the universe, you can start to distill this healing information back into your body, your newly built body, new ideas, new ways of being, all of the old information having gone, leaving your body, brand new. Just feel your body starting to return, starting to come back to the physical. Decanting all this great information deep inside your body. So we start to re-inhabit our form, as it were. We can gently start to move our body a little bit. And we'll just use a standard Sheneng Qigong closing to get us back to the end of this. So we can just gently bring our feet together, bring our hands into the prayer position in front of the heart. We can just settle back into our body. So we close out by gently taking the hands up in front of the face. Take the hands up, round of the head. Extend, blue sky chi. Whole body open. Then let the hands soften down a little bit, let the knees be slightly soft, and then we open up our little fingers and our ring fingers and our middle fingers, and we split the hands apart, out to shoulder height. We scoop and draw our hands round to the front. And at shoulder height and width, just point back to your third eye. Imagine you're able to direct chi inside your brain. Fill your brain with chi. All functions of your brain working well. Illuminate the center of your brain with chi. Then we drift the elbows back and let the hands come underneath the arms. We just lightly touch the sides underneath the armpit, level with the breastbone. That's sending chi into middle dantian, the middle energy field. Just imagine this chi growing deep inside the center of the chest, this vast ball of energy that supports your heart and your lungs, your liver, spleen, kidneys, all functions of your organs returning to perfect working order. Everything working well, all the organ systems working well. And then we just drift our hands backwards so the palms are facing up, pointing to the horizon behind. And then the backs of the hands move forwards. When they're in line with the side of the body, gently turn the palms over. We send a wave of chi out into the blue sky. And then we're going to gather some back for ourselves. As if a great big ball of energy were being drawn deep into the belly.
Lower dantian, qi is abundant. Blood and qi flow well. Qi abundant, deep inside the belly. Lower dantian, qi abundant. Blood and qi flowing well. All functions of the body return to perfect working order. All functions of the body normal. So as we stand here, we can just feel into what is called our Wei Qi layer. It's like a sort of layer of qi covering your skin, like a protective layer of qi covering your skin. So just imagine this beautiful glowing field of qi around your body, protecting you. And then we have another field of qi, which is called your qi body. It's like a meter in front, a meter behind, left, right, up and down, this beautiful bubble of qi around you. It protects you, but it also connects you to the outside world. So just imagine yourself standing there, every cell in your body filled with qi, these beautiful fields of qi around your body, protecting and connecting you. You, this being of light inside your fields of qi, every cell in your body working well, functioning well. All functions of your body return to perfect working order. All functions normal. All functions normal. Just imagine that. All functions in your body, perfect working order. So now we can put a big smile on our faces, slowly open our eyes, let the hands relax down. We just move the hands a little bit, perhaps just stretch the body out slightly. So whatever you need to do just to loosen and relax the body, perhaps moving the shoulders or shaking the legs. And then we finish off by saying haula. So haula means good already. Hold a moment. Oh, I think, okay, that's it. And we go. So hands up in the air. 1, 2. Haula. 1, 2. Haula. Last time. 1, 2. Haula. Oh, lovely. So the right hand comes up, left hand down, and we bring the fingertips together. This is our Zheneng Qigong salute. Thank you very much. Great to have you here today. And as I always say, I'm going to send these videos off. I'm going to put them up on my YouTube channel. Please share them with everybody and let the whole world know about my YouTube channel. Subscribe, and thank you very much. Bye.